Welcome to this week's Midweek Meaningful Chat. If this is your first time listening or watching, let us introduce ourselves. My name's Lisa and I'm from A Life Full of Meaning. We've got Maxine here from Never Too Late, Our Journey, and Paul from Narrowboat Unlocked. And if it is your first time and you're thinking, what is this about? We're basically three YouTube vloggers who love a good chat. We just love it. And we like to get together at some point in the middle of the week and just talk about stuff. So that's us. And that's what we're doing today. If you are returning, thank you. Thank you for coming back. And thank you for all your comments and your previous listenings. We really appreciate it. So today we're talking, what 3 things would you take? Well, before we get on to it, let's find out what we've been up to this week. Maxine, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I've just been doing bits and bobs at home, but then yesterday we went to York for the day to try and get into the Christmas spirit of things, because since COVID we've not been up for a couple of years, and so it was lovely. There was a market on, not quite as big as usual, but all the Christmas lights were up and everything, and so we had quite a few mulled wines and met up with my cousins, which was fab, and we had a real good giggle for a few hours. So it was lovely. Yeah.
Excellent. Did it work? Did you get in the Christmas spirit?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, excellent. Paul, how about you?
Yeah, I don't know where to start. It's been a crazy week. So we're settling into the marina. Catch up with things like laundry. It's like when you get back from holiday, you remember all these jobs you've got to do. And obviously last Sunday was amazing. Was it Sunday or Monday? The Christmas party, the Boat Vloggers Christmas party. Yeah, our ribs were aching, weren't they, Lisa?
Oh man, I laughed so much. I laughed and I talked so much I lost my voice. By the end of the night, I barely could talk, and it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and I'm getting ready for Christmas shows in schools this coming week.
Oh, brilliant.
It must be your busiest week of the year, is it?
Yeah, well, normally December's crazy. I remember one year doing 72 shows in December, and I was doing 5, sometimes 6 a day. I couldn't even remember. Yeah, from one show to the next, I was speaking my patter, thinking, I've just said that. No, that was the last show.
That was the last.
Yeah. It's never been that busy for a long time.
Oh, well, I hope the week carries on. Well, I hope it calms down and you get everything done with a little bit of sanity left by the end of the week.
Seeing the kids' reactions and hearing them laughing, it's a good ground.
That's brilliant.
It's good. Well, me, what have I been up to this week? Well, as you said, Boat Vloggers Christmas party was just amazing. I launched a new product just this morning, and it's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. It's a bag with Be Kind on, and I did have the first one that came off the press here, and I was going to show you, but I popped round to see my neighbour and my friend Dawn last night, and I gave it to her because I hadn't seen her for ages, and she was well chuffed with it. So
that's been kind, Lisa.
Yeah, I know. I was like, part of me was like, I want to keep this. I was like, Lisa, you have loads. Give it away. Give it as a gift. And then I start my new job this afternoon.
Oh, brilliant! Good luck with that.
I am very excited. I was just saying to Maxine before we came on, actually, I don't feel nervous. And I just feel really excited, really excited. So anyway.
That's good. It's meant to be. If you feel excited, it's the right thing for you. You're doing the right thing.
That's good to know. Because I was thinking, am I a bit cocky? And I was like, no, I'm just really looking forward to starting. So, I'm sure it'll all be fine. Anyway.
You play Skittles with a lot of drunken boat vloggers. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Well, the thing is, you see, I love meeting people. And it'll be like a constant stream of people I can say hello to. So hopefully.
Can I make a confession? We did wonder, when you snuck out the room the other day, we did wonder if it's going to take people 40 minutes to check in.
By the end of my shift, the lady that employed me might be thinking, what have I done? I'm going to try tone it down. Just
Oh,
do the
no.
smile. Just do the polite hello.
Maxine, imagine arriving at a hotel and Lisa checking you in. You'd just be
It was
set
fantastic.
there, wouldn't you? Yeah.
That's Lisa. You're the type of person you want to see, because sometimes you arrive and they're really miserable and oh great, what am I doing here? So you are the tonic, and it would be amazing.
Well, hopefully my colleagues agree with you. Just got to say before we start, I was in the car yesterday and there was on Radio 2 Jeremy Vine. Now I don't normally listen because it tends to be quite moany, but before I turned it off, he was saying what they were talking about, and they were talking about serious stuff like COVID and stuff. And then they were saying, have you ever worked with someone with a really loud voice at work? Is it like the worst thing? Phone in and tell us. I thought, I've often said, if I worked in an open plan office, someone would kill me. Someone would just want So yeah, anyway, that said, I'll tell you how the job goes later.
Oh, please.
Like next week.
Yeah.
What 3 things would you take to a desert island? Now, I've got to tell you, when I typed out a little graphic to post on Facebook yesterday, I actually typed out, what 3 things would you take to a desert island? And spell check said,
"Ooh, that sounds nice."
And then I was a bit like, oh, I want to go to a desert island. Anyway, it's not a desert island, it's a desert island. So shall we start? Let's do our first one. Maxine, what's the first thing you would take?
I would take a wind-up radio.
Ooh, that is okay. Go on, because
I like to have noise around me. I do like silence, but now and again I like to have it. Doesn't matter if it's talking or music or anything, but I just thought at least then so it'll feel like somebody else is with you as well. You won't feel lonely, and you'll be able to just listen out learn different things, and you've got all the different channels. So I'd definitely take a wind-up radio.
That's very good. I've got to say, Paul, before we come to you, I've just got to say that we're not including people in this. All right. So we can't include partners or children or I mean, it would be great. I'd take Oprah Winfrey if we could. Oh, we could chat for hours, me and Oprah. But no people. And also the other thing is, I started to get really technical with the desert island bit. I was like, well, I've got no electricity and I've got no this and what. And I started, maybe I should take a rope and a knife and a, whatever. And then I thought, no, this isn't about technicalities of being on a desert island. This is about the things that, add value and meaning to our life. So I just wanted to say that before people were like, well, that wouldn't work on a desert island. So with that said, Paul, what's your first thing?
Yeah. Can I just take the narrowboat?
Can you just
everything on it? Is that a cheat?
Yes.
I think it may be a stretch, but I see what you're saying.
It's like taking your house.
Yeah. It's got everything, and it's a nice place to be.
Yeah. Well, it might be boring, and it may be one of the things that it doesn't really count, but I hate the cold. I was one of these people that used to be on the side of the football field during sports day thinking, this isn't pleasant. I'd rather be indoors watching a good film.
When will this be over? That's what I used to think it'd be.
When the ground froze, and I thought, this is punishment. What have I done wrong? Yeah. So it's really practical, so it might be dead boring. It'd be one of those flint lighter things, so I could light a fire.
Yeah. Excellent. I can't light a fire, as you've probably seen on our vlog, right? I can't light a fire with firelighters and a flamethrower, essentially. I'd have no hope. You'd
have to learn.
Oh man, I bet I'd get good at it if I tried hard enough. So I've got to say, when I posted this on Facebook yesterday, one person mentioned that they put 3 things down, and 2 of them were the same as mine. And I've got to say, the first one that I chose was music. So I was thinking an iPod. But Jodie in the comments had put a wind-up radio. And I thought, oh, actually, what am I thinking of? An iPod? A bloody radio. A wind-up radio would be better. And then when you said that, Maxine, I was like, oh, yeah, we are very alike. So, yes. And for exactly the same reasons. I love music. I love talking. I've listened to 3 podcasts this morning already while I've been doing bits and bobs. So, yes, some sort of wireless device. So either an iPod or a wind-up radio, and I think wind-up radio would be more sensible. So that's good. Before we get on to the second one, William says a cell phone, a solar charger, and a box of matches. William, that's very practical.
Very.
I've not gone down that route. So hold on, I'm trying to click on the ones on the side. It's all confused me, and I almost kicked us all out of the stream. That wasn't good. So good morning to everybody. Yeah, and thank you, Patricia, who says, hope the new job goes well. I'm pressing all sorts of buttons here. It could go horribly wrong. So, Maxine, what's your second one?
I've gone for practical because I would take some matches, because I would want to be able to light the fire. I must admit, I'm useless at lighting a fire, but I'm going to get practice soon. I know you've got to get lots of Kindle and bits and pieces, so it'll take me a while. So I've put a large box of matches because I know I'll go through a few. So I've got matches, I've got warmth, and then I can cook whatever I catch.
That's highly practical. Yes, well done. Well done. And what about you, Paul, for your second one?
Yeah, I think if I could take a pad of paper, could I take a pen? Or is that two things?
Well, I thought that during the week, because I was also going to say a notepad and a pen, like together in a set. So, we'll count that one.
Well, a pencil. I'd make a pencil. Yeah, actually, when I've got my flint, I could dig up some wood, make some charcoal. I've no idea how to do it, but I'll figure it out. And then I can draw. Because wouldn't it be nice if you were going around your desert island and you found a bottle that you could write a note and send to a loved one, even if you didn't think it was going to get there? It's having that hope, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I think it'd be nice to draw in my sort of pad of paper, so I'll be able to draw and also write messages in a found bottle and just send them off, little notes to loved ones.
Lovely. That is excellent. Oh, now Jackie here. We were talking about this exact thing just before we went live, wasn't it? Jackie says, my iPhone, my duvet and pillows, and pen and paper. We said duvet and pillows because you got to have a good night's sleep. Oh. I mean, Jackie, that's my world there. Those things. Well,
same, to be honest. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Well, my second thing would be a pack of cards. So I love games. I've always got a pack of cards in my handbag. Now, that's usually because if I'm out with the grandchildren and we go to a restaurant or something, we chase the ace experts. We're like, quick game of chase the ace, while we're waiting. It keeps them amused and keeps me amused as well. Yeah. But, patience, snap, I could, you can play snap on your own, but in case someone else came. But I love board games, card games, all of those. And I thought a pack of cards, hours of fun. So that would be.
If I bumped into you on that island, you could have saved your second wish because you could have had your paper, you could have made your charcoal, you could have made yourself a pack of playing cards.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. I mean, I'd just pray for people, to be honest. If I was on a desert island on my own, and if that radio didn't hold up, because at least with a radio you could talk to, you can talk. They can't listen, but they, you could talk. It would feel like a conversation.
Definitely. Yes, that's why I went for the radio.
Yeah, absolutely. Good one. Right, Maxine, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is a journal, and I've said the same with it. It will come with a pen because it's all a pack.
Yeah.
So that
We stretch the rules.
we stretched it a bit.
Yeah.
So that so I could keep a log of what's happening and write my thoughts, and just and so whoever does find me eventually, hopefully, or if they don't, they'll know what I went through.
That's really interesting. I mean, I know we've touched on journaling before in previous conversations, but how important that is, to our, I was going to say to our happiness, that's not the right word, to our understanding of ourselves. Do you think? I mean, I journal, and sometimes when I write something, it's like, I get, it helps me understand myself more, I think. I don't do it as a record for, in 5 years' time, I can look back and see what I was doing on that day. In a way, that's what our vlogs are. I love our vlogs as like a diary, but my journal is very much helping me understand what, is going on in my head. So that's cool. What about you, Paul?
Well, if it was possible to have an Alexa, I'm saying that quietly, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Because you can tell you jokes, you can order something from Amazon.
Right. It'll be a robot that drops it.
Yeah. Send it to the island. But that's not going to be practical, is it? But that would be brilliant, because you could talk to it, you could listen to music on it. So that beats your wind-up radio, I think.
Yeah, I think it would. I think it would.
I think, in seriousness, my third thing that I thought of would be a book, and my favourite book as a child, and I still love reading it as an adult, Wind in the Willows.
Oh, why?
I absolutely love that book. It just takes me back to being a kid. It's all that friendship and adventure and getting through obstacles, and it's just one of my favourite books. Yeah. So I think if I could only take one book, it would be Wind in the Willows.
Yeah. Excellent. I've just seen that Gordon said, how about a saw or an axe? Yes, that would be very practical. I didn't bring anything practical, nothing practical on my list at all. I'd be sitting there listening to my radio playing.
Shivering.
It's what's that?
Shivering, because you've no heat, no fire.
Yeah. I'd be sitting there listening to my radio, playing cards. Oh, it sounds like a holiday, doesn't it? It sounds like a holiday. So
if we could take forth and it's around there, would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, pina colada. Did you
get that then? If we could take
4th item, sun lounger. Yeah. Well, not being fun. If I took my bed or a comfy duvet, I mean, I'd be quite happy on that, to be honest. So, what are we on? Are we on our third thing?
Yeah.
So, my third thing would be a book, and I thought really hard about what book it would be, and I was like, it's got to be A Course in Miracles. Have you read it?
No.
Do you know the book I mean? It's like that big. It's huge. And it's got dark green cover. I mean, I've had it in physical format, and I've actually got it on audio as well. Have I ever got past the first 10 pages? Never. It's one of those books. It's one of those books that when I first sort of understood sort of spirituality and sort of outside of religion, it was one of the books everyone's like, oh, you must read it. It's like fundamental. It's fundamental to your understanding of the world. And I tried so many times to read it. And in fact, since thinking that's what I'd take, I've started listening to it. It's not an easy listen. That's all I'm saying. It's not easy. Right. And I thought, you know what? That will keep me going for bloody years, that book. Yeah. I mean, someone would come and rescue me. I'll be like, not yet. I'm halfway through. Give me a circle back. I want to finish that book.
Give me a few more months.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would be A Course in Miracles.
Yeah.
So,
look at that.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So that's my 3.
Brilliant.
Wind Up Radio or iPod or Wind Up Radio, basically. Pack of cards, Course in Miracles. Maxine, remind me of your 3.
So mine is a Wind Up Radio.
Yeah.
A big box of matches.
Yeah.
And a journal with a pen.
Perfect. Paul?
Yeah, a flint for lighting fires. It would be a note, like a paper art book. Yeah. Paper pad. Yeah. And what was the third thing? My book, Wind in the Willows.
Wind in the Willows. That is excellent. Someone just said, Elaine said, let's have a look. Wind in the Willows is one of my favourite books as well. I hate to be a little practical, but some toiletries might be good. Yeah, all that practical stuff. That's
make our own.
Yeah, that's it. We'll go organic. We'll be like, you know, harvesting stuff. Because earlier on in the week when I was thinking about this, I was like, well, my food processor, I love my food processor. It's incredibly useful. I mean, okay, there'd be no electric, but let's oversee that. But and then I was like, no, Lisa, you'd be harvesting from local and you'd make everything. To be honest, I wouldn't stand a chance. I wouldn't stand a chance without Glenn. Glenn would thrive in that environment on a desert island. I mean, he'd be making all sorts. Once, years ago, and I'm talking like when our eldest daughter was a baby, so we're going back 30 years, we had this power cut, and it had lasted for hours, and it was in the evening, it's pitch black, you know, and I was sitting there like in the cold, with like nothing, just sitting there waiting for Glenn to come back. He came back within minutes, right, of him coming in. We were young, we had like no practical things like candles or whatever, but we did have a fondue set. So within minutes, right, Glenn had knocked up the fondue set. It was boiling water. We were making a cup of tea. And then he had it. You can tell how old it was. He had what are those things that you used to put the tapes in with the earphones?
A Walkman.
Walkman, that was it. Yeah, he had a Walkman, which he wired up some external speakers. We had music and a cup of tea within seconds. And I sat in the dark for hours, just like waiting. So yeah, I'd be doomed. I would be doomed.
I don't tell you what I thought, Lisa.
What's that?
When you said Glenn, you know, it's that long ago. Do you remember I thought you were going to say he had hair.
He did then. He did. He had hair.
Sorry, Glenn.
Hair. Oh, those days.
That is really practical, isn't it? And it's like every year, haven't they forecast that Britain is going to suffer from the worst winter ever? And we all stuck up with candles and hot water bottles, and it's never arrived.
No. Well, living on a boat, obviously, we had loads of candles and hot water bottles. So in this house now, they've all come with us. If we ever have a power cut, we're sorted. We're sorted. Candles, hot water bottles, we've got it all. We would survive in this house in a power cut. I'm sure of it. I'm so sure. So, what did your 3 things tell you about yourself? If you look at your 3 items, so mine, when I was thinking, I thought, Lisa, you just don't like being bored. You know, if I look, you know, cards, fun, you know, play games, test my mind or whatever. You know, that external stimulation of listening to people or music and, you know, and reading and obviously A Course in Miracles is quite a hefty book and it covers some heavy spiritual themes. So I was like, yeah, that told me, Lisa, you don't like being bored. Did your items give you any like confirmation or insight into who you are?
I minded matches because I hate being cold. I really, really hate it. So I thought I have to have some heat there. And then I thought tactically as well, I could cook with it. I can obviously got a fire, so I can cook and keep myself going. The radio is just, I like to have, say, just so that I've got some noise or something, and I like to listen to different things. So I can learn from it as well as listen to everything. And then my journal to clear my head. So if I do start getting fed up and everything, being stuck on the desert island, I can write everything down and put, my thoughts and everything. So it'll clear my head, and so I won't get fed up or depressed about anything. And so I thought, which it's true, and I do it day in, day out, really now. So it's very simple.
So it would be the same. It would be the stuff that's important to you now. It would be those. Those things. Paul, what about you? What did they say about you, about who you are and what's important to you?
Yeah, it's really difficult to prioritize, isn't it? And I think there's lots of things that I'd love to take that you couldn't take. Or, I was thinking a picture of Anthony and Dexter, but, I know what they look like. And I think looking at that picture every day would make you more fed up because you're on your own. If it's possible to communicate with other people via whatever ways, I know Glenn was into his CB radios. If you could just tell anyone. The things we like, I like my home comforts. So I'm like you. I like to be warm. I hate the cold. So I was thinking of practical things, but really it made you think about the things that you couldn't take with you. And I think we'd all be honest and say that, if we could, we'd take our partners, because you want to share whatever experience you've got. You want to share that with your partners or friends. So Desert Island, the boat bloggers Christmas party, apart from Maxine and Steve weren't there, that'd be great if we were all there, wouldn't it, on the island?
Oh, it would be chaos, wouldn't it? It would be chaos. It would be so much fun. So Jackie says her 3 things that show that she's lazy. I would just say that comfort is important. So Louise from Narrowboat Changing Pace says she's not really sure what she would take, that she's indecisive. Mark, I'm sat here thinking my 3 things might be people rather than things. Is that cheating? Well, yes, Mark, it is. But we're with you. I think if we had a choice, all of us would choose people over things. Isn't that like the tagline for the minimalists? I don't mean the minimalist boat vloggers, but the minimalists. What are they called? The 2 guys.
Is it choose experiences over belongings or something?
It's something like
that, isn't it?
Choose people, not things, because it never works the other way round or something. It's wise words anyway, but I think we would all choose people. I definitely would. I think my daughter Beth, she's a bit of an introvert. She'd be quite happy on her island on her own, honestly. But I think most people would choose people over things. Did you? I may have done this, right? After I think, I can't take people, my first 3 choices were all technical items. So when I first thought about it, I was like, my computer, my phone, my camera, right? And then I was like, that's a little tech heavy, Lisa. What about some other items that aren't so tech, But it's funny that I think we can do so much on our phones, as we've talked about in previous episodes, that our phones, did anyone else think their phones?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just the way it is, isn't it? Definitely. They're such an integral part of our life.
Yeah, you can do so much on them, can't you? I mean, I'm not into playing games, but I think if you're stuck at an island and you had no phone signal, and you could possibly charge your phone somehow, that I don't know. You could see what day it was.
Yeah.
You could write in your journal, so you could use it as a notebook. You could use it to draw. You can even play musical instruments on it, can't you? Just everything with your phone.
Yeah,
Apart from fire.
I could play solitaire on it, couldn't I?
Yeah.
On a game. I wouldn't need the pack of cards, but no, I don't. I think it's fine that we leave, phones out of this. Yeah.
But music's an interesting one because I do love listening to music. And I remember visiting my cousin in America, and her husband came to see us. We were about a 2-hour drive away, and he was going crazy because his car radio didn't work. He said, I've been driving for 2 hours with no music and it's driving me mad.
Really?
If you're on your own,
on
a long journey, I like to have the radio on or music playing.
Yeah, I do.
I love it. Or a podcast. If I'm in Glenn's car, because it's got a good hookup between the phone and the stereo, it's really easy. I mean, yesterday me and Leo were listening to Gangster Granny, and I love that as much as listening, it's just that sort of listening to something, isn't it? So motorhomes are us. My phone and headphones would be essential for loads of things. Yeah. Louise, I think you'd play Sequence, Paul. Have you ever played Sequence? Oh, no, you just said you don't play board game. Oh, Sequence.
Well, yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah. Sequence is a great one. Sequence is brilliant. So,
I've heard of that one.
Louise, that's my. Oh, can I change? My pack of cards to the game of Sequence, because Sequence has a pack of cards in, but also I can use it as a different game as well. Yeah, that's clever. That's clever. Sue says we love playing Sequence. Oh, it's a great one. My phones are us. Podcasts are fab, along with Audible on my phone. Me too. But without our phones, then it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, I've thought of one thing that we've not spoken about. We wouldn't need money.
No.
That none of us thought money, did we? And isn't that crazy? That, we work hard, and that's our main goal in life, is to earn money to pay for things. But on a desert island, that it didn't even come into anywhere on my list. Money.
No,
I just didn't think about it at all. That's really interesting. That's really interesting.
Also, I read something that it's dead obvious, but we're the only species on Earth that need money, and that's dead obvious. But it also makes you think about every other species that survives without money.
That's very interesting. But I wonder, Paul, now this is maybe a bit random, but like squirrels, maybe they hide all their like nuts and stuff and they barter them. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think other animals share resources? Or I don't know. I mean, we'd have to get really knowledgeable about wildlife. But I wonder, that whole money thing is interesting. Like,
I didn't even think about that. It was just things that keep you going, sort of thing. And
and we can't survive without money, and yet money's the least important thing when it came to being on an island. It's the one thing we didn't even think about because you just don't need it, do you?
No.
If it's a desert island, I want to go now.
Yeah.
We don't need money. We've got free desserts. And as long as it's sunny.
I definitely want to go to a desert island. Maybe, actually, I just don't know whether it's too tough a subject, but maybe one week we should talk about money.
Definitely.
As you said, it's integral to all our lives. Louise just put squirrels steal off each other. Yeah. Maybe it's just a harsher world. Maybe money is our buffer. We can buy things instead of just steal them. So but maybe one week that we talk about money and talk about it's such a loaded subject though, isn't it? Because we bring our view on money is, we learn that from, as a small child through the lenses, if you like, of our experiences as a child. So I don't know if we can do that in a sort of 45-minute conversation.
We can keep it light-hearted, can't we, Lisa?
Yeah.
Just play sequence while we talk about money.
It can change people as well, though, can't it?
Yeah.
Not
absolutely.
Not always for the good.
Sue makes a brilliant point. Money is no good to you without your health. I used to say to Glenn all the time years ago, health is wealth, Glenn. Health is wealth. And he used to, Claire, if I was going to get trapped on an island, would take fridge, freezer, lots of alcohol, and a satellite phone.
Yeah.
A satellite phone. Yeah. Claire, you got all the good essentials. What would be brilliant if we were all on a group of islands, right? All of us know we could swim over, have a party with Claire, and then swim over somewhere else. Oh, it'd be great.
You'd have to come to me. I can't swim.
Yeah, I know.
Parties at my island.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, I'd have to do all the cleaning up and everything.
That's it. Yeah. Learn to swim.
We'll teach you to swim, Paul. It'll be fun. We'll have nothing else to do.
Oh,
so,
well, I can swim 50 meters down.
That's all you need. That's all you need in the canal, because you could get to either side. It'll be fine.
As we know. Yeah. As I fell in last week.
Oh, well, I think we have covered this subject well. Do you not think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So thank you to everybody who shared what they would bring, whether on Facebook or on today's conversation. Really interesting. I'll lend you the fridge freezer, Paul, says Claire.
Thanks, Claire.
Oh, there you go. That's it. Paul's will be the party island.
Desserts, isn't it?
Thank you so much for joining us, and we are going to be here next week, but we haven't decided which day. And I think, Paul, you've got shows and stuff next week.
Yeah, I'm working Wednesday and Thursday. I'm only working till 11:30 on Wednesday, but it'll be quite late by the time we get back to the boat.
Yeah,
So
we'll find a time. If we miss a week, we'll let you know. Thank you, and apologies to everybody who missed us last Wednesday because we went out on Thursday. I'm trying to be organised and let you know what day, what time, where we'll be. So I'm definitely going to try that. Sue, very quickly, has just said you're a boat and now you've been in the canal, Paul. Yeah.
They say that, don't they?
Yeah. Anyway, take care, everyone. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Thanks
Bye.
a lot. Bye. Good luck with the job, Lisa. Bye.